I have four hypotheses. The first one is that hot steam baths were invented about 10,000 years ago, and it was not Finnish inventions. Probably at the time there was no Finns at all, and also that hot steam baths have been invented or transferred to all continents. So the Finns can't take credit on everything. But the Finnish sauna has went through 8 major development stages during its history. So Finns have been very active to develop a sauna. And sauna is very archaic. And it's surprising how resilient it has been. And its resilience is based on the basic human needs and technological innovations. The sauna is very simple, but there are even the simple inventions can be very important. I hope I could explain this argument. And the fourth one, for Finns, smoked sauna has been the most important type of sauna. And here are the 8 stages. And I don't have time to explain all of these, but I focus to smoke sauna. But first I would like to start from portable tent for hot bathing. Could you press the with cursor the portable tent? Because 4,000 years ago, photographing was not so very popular in Finland. No, that's.
I'm coming. I'm just trying to get the cursor to come over.
It's
not coming over. I'll get it. You keep talking.
I have some kind of substitute because this kind of portable tent was similar to Svetlock American Indians. And why it was portable? Because the Finns and Indians were nomads. They were moving from one place to another. Doesn't work.
No.
So that was working in the PC. But
no, I can't get the cursor to go over.
You should.
See, if I click here, it goes to the next slide.
Yeah.
And if I go over here to click on it there,
yeah. Okay.
I have an idea. Wait, I know what to do. So let's come back here.
Okay. But we could skip that if it's not.
Yeah, I'm going to have to skip that.
Possible.
Sorry, it's just not. Unless
I can show them in.
This goes on the internet. Is that the link?
No, it goes to the same document.
Okay.
But it's just click.
Okay. Let's just go back up to. Sorry.
Okay. Yes. There was some igloo type structure, a wooden frame covered with leathers or blankets, and the stones were heated in bonfire outside, and they were carried in the portable tent, and people get hot baths there. And that was very practical for people who were moving one place to another. But the next step in development was a pit sauna. And a pit sauna is at least partly put under the earth. And the other upper structure is over the earth. And it actually, there's a theory that sauna is coming from Same language, Sami language word "suodne," which means a hole in the earth. So even the sauna is not a Finnish, but of course it's not certain whether this theory is correct or not. And the pit sauna was heated, that there was a fire under the heap of stones inside the pit sauna. So it was a smoke sauna. And next day there was a smoke sauna, and in smoke sauna it was mentioned that there was an invention, but that was not the heating system, but it was the building. It was a log house with notched corners. That was a technological invention which, and I don't know whether it was invented by Finns, but Finns adopted it, and it's said there's a book that the Finns brought this technology to the United States. So that was important to have a skill to build this kind of buildings. And as I said earlier, that there was no chimney, just a wooden ventilation pipe, and no glass windows. And the door was kept open when it was heated. And this is a traditional smoke sauna inside, and here you see the stove. It's very simple, just a heap of natural stones, and there was a hole inside, and the billets, the firewood was put there, and it took about 6 or 8 hours to heat this, and it consumed 1 cubic meter firewood. And here it's that the smoke sauna was and is still a very sooty place. So the question is that how so simple, so sooty place could be so important for Finns? What is the secret? And it's not the building or these technical inventions what were included. It was the people who made smoke sauna so important, because people used smoke sauna for various purposes. And here is the painting. You have seen this before by Akseli Kalain Kallela. People were cleaning up themselves in sauna, but they were also relaxing, as told, and they were discussing. And in smoke sauna, it was quite warm. It was not so warm even in the very beginning, but it was warm in the beginning, and people then did in the same house, in the same farm. Everybody go to the sauna at the same time. So bathing in smoke sauna was a social event. There was everybody, the farm owner, his family, farm hands and their families, and so on. They were all in a country house, went to sauna at the same time. And that made it some kind of entertainment for people in evenings, and in Eastern Finland people went to sauna 2 or 3 times in a week. In Western sauna less that, but at least once a week. And the sauna was the place where the Finns were born, and they were washed in sauna before funerals. Because it was the beginning and the end of the Finns' life, made it in a way a sacred place for Finns, and they respected about the importance of sauna. and furthermore, it's an old saying in Finnish that if sauna, tar, or vodka doesn't help, one is destined to die. So it was the health center, and there were some men and ladies, couples who knew the vernacular medicine, and they treated many diseases in sauna. For example, they removed bad blood from a sick person by cupping. They were sucking the blood from the back of the person. Yes.
What's the assumption that in the communal and family and groups of friends bathing that it was all naked and there was no taboo about that?
Well, yes, they were doing that, yes. Yeah. But as Jarmo told, that habit has changed. That nowadays men and women are bathing separately. But the technology gives it today the possibility. But at the time, in a way, to have a good path, it was better to go together with others. But it was also a social convention. So there and the sauna, it's healing. It's healing if you are working very hard and your muscles are very tight. Sauna is a good place to get your muscle softer. And sauna was used also for many other purposes. It was used for temporary dwelling, and when Finns they were clearing a farm, the first thing was to build a sauna, and the family was living in sauna, and then they built perhaps the cow house and then the main building. That was the order. It was used also for dressing house and place for many different kind of tasks. And it was the situation in Korpilahti, where my mother was born, and in the old sauna there was a shoemaker was living there. He had made a permanent house. And speaking about giving a birth in sauna, my mother was born in sauna. So I am the first generation born in hospital.
Timo, I want to, because we have 1 hour, we have four more people.
Yeah.
I want to kind of cut to the chase a little bit here, and I know this is from you as a historian. That's this is history, but clearly the smoke sauna is still being used in Finland on a smaller scale, but it's being used, and it's still considered the best sauna. Why is it considered the best? What is the aspect about it?
Yeah.
Can you describe that?
Well, it's as I said, it's a quality of the bath, the steam, and it was also because it was used for many purposes. So it was in a center in a farm. As I hear, it was used for slaughtering animals. Big outside and
Okay.
smaller was inside. It was used also to malting barley and rye, brewing beer, drying linen, tobacco, and so on, and laundry. It was practically everything was made in
But not
in
today, not anymore.
Not that there are other facilities, and you can buy beer from shops. But in Finnish agrarian farm was self-sufficient. Everything was made at home.
Absolutely.
And there was important things. There was warm in the winter time, and there was hot water, and there were very often the tools were available as well.
And it was clean. The smoke killed all the germs.
Yes.
So there was never, but that wasn't something people were aware of back then. Germs weren't even discovered, but there was that aspect of it. It was a safe place. From
Yes,
a
I
hygienic
think
point of
that was one reason why the children were giving birth in sauna. But there was also the warm water, and it was considered it was also a quiet place.
Right.
It was not disturbed because living houses were very small, and they were crowded. So it was not perhaps a good place to give a birth.
Is it practical today, the smoke sauna? Or does it belong in the history books?
There are 27,000 smoke saunas in Finland.
27,000.
Yes.
There are actually more.
Well, but compared to 3.2 million, it's very small.
But I would like to say here that in most cases when the Finnish families have their smoke sauna, it is the second sauna, so you don't heat it regularly. But then we have few places like the Finnish Sauna Society where it is heated every day. But it's luxury, but the amount of smoke saunas is increasing all the time. And Finland is not the only country where smoke saunas are again in the modern way. And some of the modern smoke saunas you can heat in less than 3 hours. You don't need that 6 hours or 7 hours anymore. But you have the bouquet there, and you don't get it anywhere else.
Unless you buy the special smoke sauna smell and put it on your rug.
Don't
Right?
say that.
Well, on your infrared stove, yeah.
I've seen that in Germany.
Oh, please. I'm sorry to, the history, I love the history part, but I'm also, there's a feeling that we talk about, we can't even do barbecues here now because there's all these restrictions on the air quality, and I can't imagine that some the rules and regulations in this country that would allow for the burning of smoke like this without any kind of filtration. It's just smoke going into the air. Do you think that's something that could ever do that here? Or?
Yeah, but there was mentioned that that EU have presented regulations to stoves, and perhaps they are also related to smoke saunas. So the EU may stop the smoke saunas
That's what I point.
from Finland.
Because there's no way you can make a practical smoke sauna.
Yeah, but it's 5 hours is a long time, and they still perhaps not 1 cubic meter firewood. So it's quite impractical for busy people.
Right.
But if somebody is on holiday, have time and want to enjoy, smoke sauna is wonderful.